Hey, what's up everybody? In this video, we're going to take a look at Santa Claus Chip from Chippendale. We're also going to take a look at Santa Claus Chip at skill level 1, 2, and 3, and I'll give you a side-by-side comparison of Santa Claus Chip just to see how they differ from the 3 different skill levels. Later on, I'm also going to do another video between skill level 4, 5, and 6, so stay tuned for that. But for this video, I am going to focus just more on the skill level 1, 2, and 3, so let's dive right into it. So the ability description for Santa Claus Chip is starts fever time and clears zooms in the center. And if you want to activate Santa Claus Chip's ability, you will need to get a total of 16 copies of him on the screen to activate the ability, to fully charge it essentially. The minimum score is 77 with a maximum score of 765, so not going to be great for score, and really Santa Claus Chip is really good for essentially fever missions. And if you want to get Santa Claus Chip to skill level 6, you'll only need 29 copies of him. So this is considered on the lower side. Anything under 30, I would say, is considered pretty low. And generally 29 or even 26 will be extremely low. So every time you level up Santa Claus Chip, the zoom effects does get bigger and bigger. And the zoom effect size is going to be referenced to essentially the blast of the center clear. Like I mentioned earlier, Santa Claus Chip is going to be good for fever mission, and the reason for that is every time you activate Santa Claus Chip's ability, fever will be activated right away regardless of how much of the bar is charged. So for example, let's say you just completed your fever and you have Santa Claus Chip's ability charged up, and if you activate it right away, even though your ability is at the very low, or like right here that you're just seeing on screen, the fever bar is really low, but because I activated the ability, the bar will automatically charge to full. So one of the strategies when you are using Santa Claus Chip is just make sure the center area of the screen is fully completed with a lot of zooms. This will maximize your chain, and when your chains are maximized, you're gonna definitely get more coins than when you're not. And then secondly, the other strategy that I would recommend is if you are about to essentially your fever coming to an end, then wait a couple of seconds before you activate Santa Claus Chip's ability, because this will give you a quicker boost. You're going to save about 2 to 3 seconds from trying to charge up your fever bar, and it could potentially add up to 5 or 7 seconds. So I definitely recommend that you activate it if your bar is relatively low. But what I also want to show you guys is a side-by-side comparison between skill level 1, 2, and 3. So let's take a look at that. On the left hand side, you see skill level 1, middle skill level 2, and at the very end, skill level 3 on the right hand side. And the difference between all 3 of these skill levels is the skill range. For skill level 1, the skill range is going to be extra small. Skill level 2, the skill range is small. And then skill level 3, it's going to be medium. And again, this skill range is referenced to the center area of Chip's burst when you do activate the ability. And overall, you're not going to necessarily see too big of a difference between skill level 1, 2, and 3 in terms of the coins or the ability blast area. So when it comes down to is it worth investing your skill tickets to Santa Claus Chip, I would say no, but Santa Claus Chip is a really good zoom for missions. So if you don't have any zooms that is a start fever zoom, then you might want to grab a copy of Santa Claus Chip, because this will help you in those missions or even bingos where you have to start a lot of fevers per game. Like sometimes you get those bingos or even monthly missions where you have to start like 8 fevers per game in one play. So ideally you want to have a zoom that could start fever whenever it's empty. So having these start fever zooms is definitely handy. And that's why I recommend getting one if you don't already have one. But if you already have a zoom that starts fever and you don't really necessarily care about collecting zooms, then yeah, you definitely don't need Santa Claus Chip. But one cool thing about Santa Claus Chip is that if you are really into Christmas and love the holiday season, this is definitely one that you want to get. I mean, just have we even talked about the animation? It's super cute. You have Santa Claus Chip at the top with a reindeer, and then Santa Claus Chip jumps down the chimney, and then boom, you get a present popping out. So it kind of goes with the theme of this month. And also, just a hint, the reindeer that you see on screen here will eventually become a zoom that you can get. Actually, I think it is live now. You could get that zoom if you are playing through this month's mission. And when we're talking about this month, we're talking about December 2021. And that's another zoom that I'm going to cover later on as well, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, overall, Santa Claus Chip, really good for missions, not going to be great for coins, and not going to be great for score either. But let's also take a look at the ability. I want to show you a side-by-side there for it to be activated at the same time. So let's take a look at that. So here we have the ability activated at the same time. You have Santa Claus Chip jumping down the chimney. So let's slow it down and take a look at that. So he hops about 3 times and then jumps into the chimney right down into someone's house and pops out with 4 presents, and then the center area is the burst radius. So take a look at it here. You do see 3 different sizes here, and you could clearly tell that skill level 3 is a lot bigger than skill level 1. So it is very noticeable. And for skill level 1, I got a chain of 17. Skill level 2, I got a chain of 21. And finally, for skill level 3, I got a chain of 26. So it's pretty evident that for skill level 3, it does perform a lot better. But when it comes down to, is it worth it to invest in getting Santa Claus Chip to a higher skill level? I don't think so. Not really worth it. So let me fast forward to show you what my coin earnings were for these gameplays. And also just to let you know that these were all first attempts. So they weren't necessarily the best gameplays that I've played. But regardless, skill level 1, I got 1,028 coins. Skill level 2, I got 1,301. And for skill level 3, I got 1,403 coins. And if you have these Tsums at these skill levels, you could expect a little bit more. Because if you play with a good strategy and you're paying attention, you definitely could get more coins than this. I was just casually playing so I could show you guys the ability, and I was really focused on Mickey and Pluto for this month. But anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and found it informative. And if you would like to see more Tsum Tsum content just like this, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And as always, thank you so much for watching.